Are you trying to apply wet slide decal transfers to your miniatures but find them slipping away? Then check out this video. Hey, welcome back to Tangible Day. I've gotten a lot of questions about how to apply wet slide decals, so in this video I show you how I apply them to models like this Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Decals can make all the difference when it comes to making your miniatures stand out. I have a lot of examples. Here are just a few of them. Insignias, scale model kits, tanks. Oh, I like this one. Dreadnoughts, banners, and more. But here I'll show you the basic way of how I apply these decals. It's not that hard. Check it out. The first thing you want to do is paint your entire model. Don't varnish or add special effects yet. To make the wet slide decal look like it was painted on, you do this stuff later. To start, you cut out your decal. Use a pair of tweezers just like this one. See the description below for a list of tools I use. Dip the decal in water, clean water. Put it aside, let it soak for about a minute. That's all it takes. Just showing you an example here. Use MarkFit decal solution. This stuff is great. It softens the decal and helps it adhere to the model. I'm using a flat card, just an example to show you how I do this. Apply a thin layer of that decal solution. Using a soft sable brush, again tools in the description below. Place it carefully on the surface, right where you put that decal solution. While it's still wet, you can move it around with the brush. I don't like wasting, so I don't use those cotton bud tips. I just take a piece of paper towel, roll it up, and dry around the decal, removing that excess moisture. Do this carefully so you don't shift things around, and you can see how it's laid flat here. Make sure there are no bubbles. After it's dry, apply the decal solution on top again, and what this does is soften the decal and makes it adhere and conform to the surface. So what do you do next? To make the decal look like it was painted on, you need to apply a matte varnish, just like Tester's Dull Coat, which is what I prefer. There's a spray-on version and a brush-on version. The best kind for this work is the brush-on version of the Tester's Dull Coat. You apply this with a clean brush. Tester's Dull Coat is enamel-based, so use an old or disposable brush to apply it. You'll need clean white mineral spirits to clean off your brushes after using this dull coat. And when you're done, it should have this matte finish, and the decals will look like they're painted on. So can you apply this to a 3D miniature? It gets a bit more challenging. You're going to have to avoid bubbles and wrinkles. But if you follow the steps I showed you earlier on the flat card, you should be able to achieve the same effect, a decal that looks like you painted it on. Wet the decal in clean water, set it aside for a minute, apply the decal solution directly to the model surface before applying the wet slide decal. This prepares the surface for the decal. Take the decal off, apply it to that still wet decal solution on the shoulder or surface of your model. Move it into place while everything's still wet. Flatten it as best as you can, it will be wrinkled. To get rid of bubbles, this is what you do. Wait for everything to dry in that first step, then apply the decal solution directly around the edge of the decal again. And what this does is soften the decal. It kind of melts the plastic, kind of like shrink wrap. After applying the decal solution, dry it off with a hairdryer or just wait around. Then do it again. Allow it to dry. And what this rinse and repeat process with the decal solution does is slowly soften the decal and removes those wrinkles and bubbles. Rinse and repeat. Decal solution, dry, press down, push those wrinkles away. The bubbles will slowly go away. Be patient. And when you're done and everything's dry, apply that matte varnish, just as we've done before. Apply it cleanly using a disposable or old brush. Don't apply too much. And allow that to dry. Make sure your layers are thin to avoid brush strokes. And you're done. To really make this stand out and look like it's painted on, add special effects like weathering on top of the decal, just like I'm doing now with watercolors. I have another video showing you how I use watercolors on miniatures. You can check that out later. This is just a cheap watercolor set I found. And what I'm doing is just adding a bit of weathering and color filter on top to make my Space Marine look more realistic. Less cartoony, you know? Of course, I'm speeding this up. And then go around the entire model. And the idea is the decal should just fit in. It should not look like it's a sticker. And it's not. It's a Space Marine with a wet slide decal. And I'm done. What do you think? I'm sure some of you have questions, or have other ideas, and I'd love to hear them. Leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.